So what I am thinking is, what if Alan Watts is wrong? And all those religious gurus, spiritual gurus of the Eastern tradition, who claim that there's this one divine consciousness that is experiencing everything, and we are these apertures into that consciousness. That's a metaphor that Alan Watts used himself. We are apertures. We are mosques of God. We are these channels into that consciousness. And it makes sense that God needs to be us in order to experience what we experience. Otherwise, God could not know what it's like to be us. You have to be us. You can't just watch us and know. Because then you don't know, because you have this other experience at the same time that we don't have. I just experience being me. I can think of these theories, but they remain theories. They are metaphysical speculation only. So, he would speculate. He doesn't just speculate, he believes. Lots of spiritual and religious folk believe that there's only one consciousness. And that's the question, that's the idiotic conundrum, as Jeffrey Clampton calls it, whether that is true, that there's only one. Because as far as I can tell, there's no positive proof that there can only be one. There could be many. However many, we can't put a limit on it. So why should it be limited to one? Why is it all or nothing? Some would say then, if you don't have one, then you have empty individualism, where everything boils down to fleeting moments, where there's no continuity. And that may be, but that's maybe kind of a Buddhist belief, that you have emptiness instead of this one consciousness. Now I tend towards closed individualism of unknown duration, but I'm not sure, but I'm inclined to believe that it is closed. That this one consciousness that I'm feeling now is closed to anybody else. It is closed to, yes, to God. It's closed. There is no such God that can take in everything, including me, because what I am experiencing is unique, or it could be unique. That's at least worth considering. And if it's unique, well, then there is no God, is there? I am the ground of my own consciousness, and it doesn't go on into the next life, at least not into everybody's life, like this Hinduist Alan Watts' view says that we're all apertures of God. The one God. That is, it has upsides and downsides, right? The upside is that if you're feeling bad, there's always a way out. It doesn't end with death. You're not trapped anywhere forever, because you just float on to the next life, which can be wonderful, and a lot of them will be wonderful, and a lot of them will be horrible, You just get all the good and all the bad, and you're never trapped anywhere. Except you are maybe trapped in this continuous cycle. But and now you can understand why they would think it's enlightened to want to get out of that. Because for one thing, it's solipsistic, so there's no love, no interpersonal love. Oh, that is an illusion. Well, the love might not be an illusion, but interpersonality, that's an illusion, if they're right. So then you can consider the value of transcending that and just be content with being one, which is what enlightenment is. So you have this Bodhisattva, Alan Watts, who's teaching us that. And sure, he's as good a Bodhisattva as any. That I am convinced of, but I am not convinced that he is right. So let's just think about that. What if Alan Watts is wrong? He just might well be wrong. And that's the idiotic conundrum. And it's just understudied, if I can use that word. It's under thought about. It's just taken for granted. Like you have two camps. The spiritual camp that takes for granted that it's all just one God. And then you have this materialist camp who's kind of eliminativist and don't see a conundrum either. They just see materialism. And I think we can be uploaded and copied and duplicated, and there's no conundrum there and nothing to be lost. Because, well, they kind of agree with the spiritual people. They just use different words for the same thing. So I am of a third persuasion that is neither spiritual like Alan Watts and not materialist either. It is kind of like naive individualism, closed individualism though, but not really, since I am aware of the issues. Closed individualism is kind of the default folk view that you are one person. That's kind of like the Christian view of the soul as well. But I'm not really in that tradition, at least not the way they believe it. Like Clamper says, this substance that is you cannot be a soul, because a soul should have been copied as well. And if the conundrum resolves like I think it does, then what my experience now cannot be copied. It cannot be duplicated and still be me. I mean, it can be duplicated, all right, but I will not be there to experience it. And when somebody just like me could have existed in my place, which is the conundrum, then you have ruled out the possibility that there's just one God who's experiencing everything. There's something else. There's closed individualism. But as I've been thinking about this, I've also come up with a way to maybe refute it, because this experience that I'm having now is fully constituted by the experience itself. There is no further fact of the matter than everything I can experience is contained in that experience by definition, right? That's a typology, I think. And since everything there is to experience in this moment is in the moment and can't be anywhere else, then it logically follows that Klampner is wrong, and it is wrong to say that I might not have existed and someone else could have existed in my place. That would be logically wrong. Like it can't actually happen. It's sort of I have a feeling that follows from what I just said, that everything in this moment is constituted by this moment, I mean the experience. And you can never know for sure from experience what is causing it. It could be a brain in a vat, a neuron in a vat, simulation, whatever analysis is irrelevant. It's inaccessible by definition because you only have the experience, right? So you can be skeptical about everything else, but not the actual experience. And if the experience contains all there is to sufficiently describe that experience, then there can't be a further fact of the matter logically. So even if you feel that there is something more, I feel intuitively that somebody else could have had this experience, the exact same experience, but not be me. But that this logically follows that it can't be so. Since if they had the same experience, then they would have the same experience. Maybe there's something tautological that is just fooling myself, like it's an illusion, a logical illusion maybe. Maybe I should not follow the logic and instead follow my intuition. But I don't know, it just seems like this is a possible way I found to refute the conundrum. And if you're satisfied with that, as many are, the whole materialist crowd is satisfied with saying there's no further fact of the matter and you might as well just be copied and reconstituted and duplicated, and there's nothing else. Well, some say you need continuity, but they don't have a metaphysical reason for that continuity. They just kind of prefer it. So yeah, I guess that's as far as I have thought about the idiotic conundrum so far. Maybe I can still make progress in my life, who knows. That's how it is. That's how it stands now.